Your 2 cents on the Commanders and their new quarterback, Dale. What do you think here with Jaden Daniels? Again, I know there's supposedly a competition happening here, but what's your 2 cents on what's going on with your team here?
Well, I think every offseason is an opportunity to sort of rebuild your hope and excitement. And man, has there been a lot of change in the organization, not only from the ownership side, but coaches and general managers, and everything about this program for a fan of the Commanders is entirely new and exciting. And there were a lot of free agency moves and signings throughout free agency that gave you the opinion that they felt like they saw how to improve this roster immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're already sort of, churning away at how do they make things better for the team. It's a process, and it's not going to happen overnight. And that, if they had an 8-8 season, I wouldn't be shocked. But I would be happy with that, because that would tell me we're moving in the right direction. Of course, you want to win enough games to get into the playoffs, but we've had a couple of tough years. I mean, it's been decades, right? 1991 was the last Super Bowl, and there's been a lot of things that have changed in the organization over the last several decades that gave you hope. But I think this is the first time in a long time that I feel like there's a real chance that could be a new identity created, a new culture, obviously, and a whole new identity built around this team. And we'll have to see how it plays out.
Do you think they should change the name to something else to keep that identity rolling, Dale?
I think they should change it back to the football team. The Washington football team is a really cool name. Of course, anytime you change the name, and when they changed the name to the football team, we all had the same reaction. Man, this is weird. This is odd. I don't like it. But actually, by the end of the first season as the football team, we were different. It was good. We liked it. I think most people wrap their brains around it. We're like, I kind of like this. I don't really, it set us apart in the whole NFL industry with that type of a name. And I don't feel that way at the end of season one around the Commanders. Will I in a few years? Maybe it'll sort of become normal and feel normalized to me, but that Washington football team name was kind of cool, and you had a blank slate with jerseys and everything there, and that would be kind of neat, I think, to go back to.
So why did you become a fan of this franchise? Is it because it was in close proximity to your house, or where you grew up, Dale? How'd you get hooked up with them?
Well, in the 80s, I became a fan in 81, 82. And the very first game I watched, they beat Miami in the Super Bowl, and just a fantastic game. Everybody remembers that epic run for Riggins down the sideline to score a touchdown. But there wasn't a team in North Carolina where I grew up, and my mother had moved to Norfolk after my father and her separated. She moved to Norfolk, so I'd go up to Chesapeake Bay and around that area, and there's Washington fans everywhere, and the emblem. And so she was buying me jerseys and helmets as a kid. Every Christmas I was expecting a new jersey or a helmet or shoulder pads, the whole kit. And I'd get all that stuff and play in the yard with my buddies, and I just was a fan ever since. So I'm too invested now to change, and no matter what they call the team, I'm going to be a fan from here on out.
You must have fanboyed Gibbs like crazy when he showed up on the circuit, right, Dale? Right?
Yes, I was talking about that like 15 minutes ago.
No kidding.
I remember where I was standing when I first saw him. It was like 1994 in Atlanta, Georgia, last race of the year. The race is over. Everybody's kind of meandering about trying to leave the racetrack, and I see him walking through the garage. I must have been, just 19, 20 years old. And I literally couldn't. I was speechless. I couldn't even holler out his name. I was like, there he goes. This guy, as a fan of Washington, this guy was like royalty walking across the garage. I could not believe that he was in our world.
Right. I
couldn't believe it. And, then he would become an incredible owner in NASCAR and a championship winning owner. But that's the guy I remember right there. And when I saw him walking across that garage that day, I felt like a little boy, but I was a little bit older than that. Man, it was an incredible moment. Gives me chills just thinking about it.
I bet. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.